The goal of this experiment is to fully separate a 1-to-1 mixture of acetone and 2-propanol via simple distillation. The solution will be separated into 3 fractions based on temperature, and the fractions will be analyzed via gas chromatography, or GC. Before starting, protective equipment such as safe lab attire, goggles, and gloves are mandatory. To begin the experiment, a round bottom flask or still pot is clamped. A few boiling stones are added to help prevent bumping. Using a graduated cylinder, 30 milliliters of a 1-to-1 acetone 2-propanol is added to the flask. The still head is then added to the flask. The West condenser is attached to the arm of the still head, followed by the vacuum adapter. Blue Keck clips are then attached to the joints to keep the parts together. The thermometer in the thermometer adapter is added to the top of the still head. The bulb of the thermometer is adjusted to be at about the entrance of the condenser. The water is then attached to the condenser. The first hose is added to the faucet and to the bottom opening of the condenser. The second hose is added to the top opening and emptied into the drain. Once attached, the water can be turned on. Try not to turn on the water too high to prevent splashing. You only need a small stream to come out of the drain hose. A graduated cylinder is then placed underneath the vacuum adapter to collect the distillate.
It takes about 5 minutes for every time I jerk a little bit. It's about a 5-minute process to remove it.
Once the apparatus is assembled, the heat is turned on and the solution is allowed to reach boiling.
And guess what? That was about 50. Go ahead.
Record the temperature for every milliliter of distillate collected in the graduated cylinder. As the solution is being heated, know when to collect the 3 fractions. The 3 fractions will be denoted by a changing of the graduated cylinder. The diagram should help you show you when to switch. The first fraction is collected when there is a relative steady temperature. When the temperature begins to increase, the second fraction is taken. When the temperature begins to level out again, the third fraction is taken. When it's time to change to the next fraction, simply change the graduated cylinder and continue collecting. No need to be in a major rush. You don't want to break any glassware. Missing a drop won't affect your overall results. Once you've collected all 3 fractions, you will analyze them by GC. Using a micro syringe, take about 2 to 3 microliters of the fraction and prepare to insert it into the GC port. Click Go on the program and inject your sample. Wait about a minute to see your peaks. Once done, click Stop and integrate the peaks. You want to repeat this for each fraction. Be sure to identify which is acetone and which is isopropanol, depending on the volatility of each. Once you've integrated them, you can calculate the mole percent. Once you've calculated all the mole percents, analyze the data to see if simple distillation is a good method to separate the acetone and isopropanol based on the mole percents and the volumes of each fraction.